Hi there, Julie Valenti coming to you from uh, San Diego, California. Big sigh. I'm doing a lot of big sighing these days as sort of a grounding stress reliever. I have stopped counting how many days that I have been in quarantine now, as probably most of you also have. I am going to continue on with part two of I'm experiencing depression. It's a two-part video. The first part was about what happens and what the experience feels like in our body when all our feel-good hormones begin to plummet. And due to this experience, due to this situation, the pandemic and what we're facing, our feel-good hormones are going down. Our feel-good hormones are up and running when we're just living life day to day. They get activated by the experiences we're having. So if you haven't seen the first video, circle back around and check that one out, because that'll name all the feel-good hormones and what activates them and what they do. And I have a healing center up in Portland, Oregon called Wisdom and Recovery. We put a lot of focus on understanding the body, what's going on in a neurobiological sense. Because what I have found is with education, there's a calming sensation. When I know why things are happening and what's activating different things that are happening in my body, and then I also know how to do something about it, that empowers me. And so Wisdom and Recovery really is a healing center that is about learning how your body functions and what is causing the emotional situation that you're experiencing. So, part two of I'm experiencing depression. Again, depression is an experience. It is what happens when you are not feeling, meaning that these feel-good hormones are lowered. Also, some of your stress hormones are lowered, meaning that the adrenaline and the dopamine and some of the fight or flight hormones that came up when we first heard about this pandemic, even those are beginning to go down, because this is what's called the new norm. Here we are. And we're going into, like I said, I've stopped counting, and it is day after day after day of pretty much the same thing, very simple things, and sometimes nothing at all. So so I want to talk about today, the second part. I want to talk about people who are in a population where they have a predisposition to depression, a predisposition to addiction, a predisposition to PTSD. These are a lot of the people that come into Wisdom and Recovery and that I work with, and the work that we do is giving them education, guidance, and support so that those ailments, if you will, don't have a devastating effect on their life. For many people, by the time they find their way into my door, they've already had a significant amount of devastation due to the addictions, the PTSD, and depression and other kinds of emotional conflicts that they've been struggling with. So we are talking today about a more serious look at depression and the lowering of these feel-good hormones. And so what you are probably not going to be surprised about, nor was I, that the suicide rate is actually going up. Because without our feel-good hormones, there comes this sort of dull ache and sense of why even bother? And the things that we used to do are not available to us anymore. And it can take us into a really dark place. And that place of devastation, I mentioned that can come. Like imagine you've just gotten up and began to feel good again after serious bouts of depression, and then all of a sudden you don't have that opportunity anymore. You can begin to go down. Let's say you've got some good solid recovery around addictions, but now you don't have the meetings, you don't have the people, you can't get together with your support team, and your feel-good hormones are plummeting, and now you begin to consider, maybe using in order to soothe what's going on, the situation. So with this increased suicide rate, it isn't surprising. It has affected me personally. Within 2 weeks of the quarantine, I had a friend down here in San Diego commit suicide. She took her own life. She had a series of losses. She lost a relationship. She lost her job, and then she lost her little dog. So she still was up and running, because one thing about her is she loved going out in the sunshine, loved going to the beaches, loved going to find music. And I did a lot of those things with her. And she loved being with people. And that really kept her spirits high. But within 2 weeks of the quarantine, she took her own life. And it sort of woke me up to the seriousness of the groups of people who are already suffering and already on the edge of these devastating disorders. So what can we do? And that is the one of the most important parts of the video. And I've been blogging. I wrote a big list of things. What can we do? What can we do to get these hormonal levels back up again, even though there are so many things we can't do? So I'm doing the blogs. You're going to find them on Facebook. You're going to find them on LinkedIn. You're going to find them and videos on the YouTube, Wisdom and Recovery YouTube channel. If you want to receive my blogs right in your mailbox, then you can go to wisdomandrecovery.com and sign up for the blogs and newsletters. But I wrote a more extensive list for that, but I'm going to keep the video short. I'm just going to talk about a couple, little handful of things, because what we know, if you've been working and you're part of the Wisdom and Recovery community, we know that we have the ability to generate and modulate our own hormonal system. So we want to increase feel-good hormones. Here's a couple of really quick and easy ways you can do it. Okay, so I'm going to take back easy, because when you're experiencing depression, it's really hard to get yourself up, dressed, and out the door. But it is the #1 recommended way to get a little endorphin activation, and that is, please do it safely, wear a mask, do your social distancing, but please try and get outside and take a walk. It will activate endorphins right away, and endorphins are some of our feel-good hormones. Another way is music. Listen to music and see if you can pick a music. Classical works really well, and music from a time where things were joyful and exciting in your life. Listen to music. Music immediately activates the sense of hearing, and it will activate endorphins. So another quick thing is dark chocolate. Eat a piece of dark chocolate. Don't eat dark chocolate all day long every day, but every day you could have a square of dark chocolate to just nibble on at the end of the day, keeping hitting that pleasure site in the brain and keeping your endorphins up a little bit. And the last one I'm going to mention today, because I keep this video short, is please reach out. And I talk about that in the blog. And so please reach out, because whether it's a video chat, whether it's a phone call, no matter how you reach out to another human being, please do that, because that will raise not only endorphins, not only serotonin, but also oxytocin, which is an essential feel-good hormone. And it is the hormone that is present when you are communing and connecting to another person. So those are a few ways that we can change the hormonal balance just by taking small actions in our own lives. Please, again, if you want a more extensive list or read more about this, then go to wisdomandrecovery.com, sign up for the email, get on the email list, or check me out on Facebook, Wisdom and Recovery page on Facebook, and read a little bit more of what happens when we experience depression and what we can do to change that. So I'm going to say bye for now. Remember, you're never alone. We're all in this together, even though we're apart, and never, never, never hesitate to reach out to me. I'm available, and sometimes just a few minutes of connection is all it takes to get things up and moving again. So take care and stay safe. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.